Every time I post a talking video in my car, I always get a bunch of comments that are like, okay, off topic, what kind of car is that? I love it. Don't ever buy a BMW or a luxury vehicle at that if you cannot afford the maintenance. That's usually what they tell you, and they were onto something. I've had this car for 3 years. It has 62,595 miles. I'm $10,000 deep in maintenance repairs just this year. And I think I got to do something with the brakes because I feel like they're not working.
$10,000 this year in maintenance. Girl, we only halfway. And y'all, she posted this video just a couple of weeks ago. $10,000 in 2026. And she's even over here saying, I should have gotten a Toyota. Pound BMW X6 pound luxury SUV.
So don't get this car. Like, it's nice and all on the inside, but the inside mechanics,
Now, this video opens up conversation for a topic that I think a lot of people would debate. Are luxury vehicles a scam? Now, obviously, this lady here thinks so. One thing I think that a lot of people do not consider whenever they're getting most vehicles is the cost of maintenance. I'm not sure why, but a lot of the very important information about the vehicle you're buying, for many people, it just goes overlooked. Like the miles per gallon. How expensive is the maintenance? Is there a history of certain things with this vehicle going south, having defects? Is this even a very safe vehicle? What happens during a crash? What does the car look like if that does happen? But specifically with luxury vehicles, a lot of the costs that come along with it are generally more expensive than, say, a Toyota Camry. Now, I know when most people think of a luxury vehicle, they're thinking a Audi, BMW, a Range Rover, a Lexus, a Porsche, a Lambo, something like that. And where I think a lot of people have the game messed up is perhaps they think, okay, I have this expensive car, and they're like, finally, I've made it. I have this thing that most people consider a status symbol, which is this luxury car. But it's not just about the car itself, it's about what it takes to be able to obtain keeping this car running. The things that are very expensive, like the maintenance. For people who truly want that sort of vehicle and that might actually have the money, perhaps they don't mind paying higher costs for things like maintenance, tire rotations, or even oil changes. But if that's not something you want to do, a luxury vehicle might not be something you want to buy, because it's going to come with a higher price tag. And while most people are obsessing over the monthly payments, things like the depreciation of the car, gas, insurance, maintenance, unexpected repairs are kicking people's tails. What I'm saying here is buying this quote unquote luxury vehicle for $70,000 hypothetically isn't really just $70,000 when you get 2, 3, 4 years down the line. And where better to go on this topic than Kelley Blue Book? Now, it actually says here, what is car depreciation? Car depreciation is when a car loses some of its value each year through everyday wear and tear that comes along with aging. This loss in value is known as depreciation. And it goes on to say, did you know that new cars often shed about 55% of their original purchase price within the first 5 years? Very interesting stuff. They even have a map here showing what that looks like over the course of the first 5 years, where in about year 5, the average is looking to be around 45%. Now, allegedly, people are saying BMW stands for break my wallet. Can't confirm nor deny. Others say, don't buy luxury, you lease it. And others are arguing that the best luxury car is a Lexus and that they last forever.
I'ma tell you one car you better think twice about buying. I don't care how much money you make. Don't let that luxury badge fool you. I bought a Mercedes-Benz. And don't get me wrong, I'm thankful I got to experience it. But would I ever buy another one? Absolutely not. My oil changes went from $50 to $250. And then I took my car in one day for what I thought was regular maintenance. Baby, I walked in there expecting a normal bill, $200-$300, $3,000. $3,000. I'm looking at the man like, what? Sir, is this a prank? And the crazy part is, I really didn't have many problems with the car. But when it started running hot, I got to calling around, see where I could bring it in and get the price. And baby, those prices were all I needed to hear. I got rid of the Mercedes the same day and went and got me a Charger. But listen, to each his own. If you want to try it, try it. But don't buy one just for the image. Everybody wants the luxury until it's time to pay luxury maintenance, honey. It's a never again for me.
I don't know about that. Not everybody wants a luxury vehicle. Some people just want a good old dependable vehicle. There ain't nothing wrong if you do want a luxury vehicle, but the same reasons why many people are complaining about the luxury vehicles is why many people don't want them. It's not that the cars aren't nice. Sure, people would probably love to drive some of these vehicles. Would they like to pay? No. And I think that's a rational thought. You know what else I think? Rational thoughts and critical thinking should be used when you're making a purchase as important as a vehicle. They cost thousands of dollars and usually take thousands of years to pay back. If the first thing that comes into your mind when you're getting a vehicle is, I just need to get the top of the line luxury to impress people who, let's be honest, nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. We're not in high school. So the quicker you get over that and stop thinking that people really care about a vehicle that much, the easier things will become. The easier your life will become, because then you might say to yourself, well, ain't the purpose of a car just to get from point A to point B in a safe manner with the most reliable source of transportation I can use? If the answer to that is yes, and you can do so without heartache for many people, which is what it will be if you get a luxury vehicle, then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to go above what you can afford for no rational reason. Now, if you decide to go get a luxury vehicle, you got your 401k, you got a brokerage account, you got emergency fund money, you can afford $10,000 on maintenance for that luxury vehicle because that's what might come with it, and you're okay with that. That is an informed decision. If you are okay if one of those sensors goes off, they say, hey, you might need to dish out $5,000 right now. If you're okay with handing that over for that vehicle, that might be okay for you, you know? But be honest. Don't just, I just want it to look nice and this is my dream car. Too many emotions, not enough critical thinking. And I'm only saying that because when it comes to a vehicle, a lot of people love to say, oh, this is my dream car. Guess what? Your dream might become a nightmare. Your dream might get you set up because all your feelings is pushing all the rational thoughts out the window. And that's how people end up caught up in debt, in repossessions, filing bankruptcy. And I don't want to see that for none of y'all. So I definitely agree with her. Don't buy a Mercedes just because it looks good. Looks ain't enough. It ain't enough. And what I like about her video is she did it. She already did the thing that she's telling y'all not to do. She went and got her charger. Okay, not particularly my favorite car when it comes to what I've heard about the maintenance and what I've seen online, but to each their own. She did what she felt was best financially, and that's okay. It's okay to make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. Now, people are echoing the sentiments in the comments. They're saying, I love a Benz. You just need to be able to afford the maintenance. That's the problem for most people. That is the problem. Another said, don't buy a Mercedes if you can't afford the maintenance. What? And she replied with, it's not about being able to afford it. It's about me not agreeing with the price, love. Big difference. Wait, what price tag? I feel like I'm being gaslit. I don't know. What I gathered was it was about the maintenance, which reasonable. Let me go back. Hold on.
But would I ever buy another one? Absolutely not. My oil changes went from $50 to $250.
Okay, maintenance. That's a maintenance thing. $50 to $250. Weren't okay with paying for that. What else?
And then I took my car in one day for what I thought was regular maintenance. Baby, I walked in there expecting a normal bill, $200-$300, $3,000.
That sounds like a maintenance issue. Respectfully.
$3,000. I'm looking at the man like, what, sir? Is this a prank? And the crazy part is, I really didn't have many problems with the car. But when it started running hot, I got to calling around, see where I could bring it in and get the price.
When it started running hot, I started calling in. I was using the context clues, and y'all tell me am I off? But y'all comment down below, did I misunderstand something? Because I'm open to being wrong. But one thing I know I'm not wrong about is a lot of y'all really don't like these luxury vehicles y'all got for many different reasons, like this.
I'm not normally a jealous person, but when I see the videos on TikTok of the girlies, it's like the POV, you chose the 1990 to 2000, whatever, fill in the blank, little crappy car instead of the car payment. I want to get out of my car payment so badly. I don't know how. I pay $700 a month. I had to get the leather and the bucket seats. Like,
You had to get the what?
I had to get the leather and the bucket seats.
Who gonna tell her? Nobody. Nobody, ma'am. Cue the SpongeBob meme. That was not you. You could easily just, I'm not actually, you're not handcuffed, ma'am. You had to get the leather seats.
Like, I did this for what?
I don't know. for yourself, I hope. Because I don't know why you thought you had to get some leather seats and pay that atrocious monthly payment for this car. Y'all take stuff too far. And then it's all for what it looked like. Do you like the leather seats or not, ma'am? Like, I hope when you sit in it, it feels good on your body or something, but it don't be making sense to me. It just all be sounding like it's for show. And I really just hope y'all wake up. The dealers love y'all.
It's not worth it. Let this be your sign. Take the car without the car payment. The joy I would feel listening to my CDs. By the way, I have CDs. This car, for whatever reason, has a CD player. So, like, I have my CDs, but, like, the joy I would feel listening to my CDs in, like, a 1990 Land Cruiser or, like, a 1974 F-250. That's, like, my dream truck. Or, like, a little Ford Ranger Beater, 2002. This, it's not it.
Can y'all imagine paying $700 a month for a vehicle that you don't really sound like you like, and you actually are to the point where it's like, give me a beater, give me the beater, I'll drive the beater. The beater has no car payment after getting the loan, and this is according to her. She said drive the beater. Now there are people in the comments saying new vehicles are a total scam, others saying the new car joy is short-lived. No car payments are continued joy. Honestly, I agree. The less loans you can have in life, the better. Here is one of the biggest things that I do see. People either about to pay off a car, getting another car loan, or right after they pay off their car, they get another car, or they trade in a car. So they never actually own a car ever in their life, because once they've driven it for a couple of years, they're ready to trade it in. And that keeps you in a cycle, a repeated cycle of buying. Many times it's not because that person needs a new car. It's because they simply can't. They can, and there's something better, especially when it comes to a luxury vehicle or any sort of vehicle that has these upgrades that, oh my gosh, it's the newest feature, I gotta have it. You're continuously seeing, hey, what I have is old, I need to go get this new thing, and really you don't need it. It's just because. But on the flip side, if you have a car and you just pay it off, you can actually pocket that $700 in her case a month. If she so choose to do that, she could. You know, that's hypothetically if she had a paid off car before that, which we don't know. But you watching this video might be the person who's like, you know what, I'm about to pay off this old beater. Let me go ahead and get into another car note. What's another $700 a month for leather seats? Like, do you want to be free or not? Do you? Just try it, y'all. Just try it for a little while. That's how you're able to build those emergency funds and things of that sort. It's when you're able to keep money from going to banks and bills that you may not even need. That's how you do it.
I just picked my car up from Range Rover. It was getting its like annual maintenance and then a few other little things that, you know, needed some repairs or be replaced, and I paid a high ticket price for those replacements and repairs. Okay, I went in here thinking it was gonna be something small, and I left up out of this joint paying $2,400.
It's a common theme in this video that the maintenance on the luxury vehicles are in the thousands of dollars. Thousands! Goodness gracious.
So all I'm gonna say is, if you're thinking about buying a luxury car or a Range Rover specifically, please understand that there is high ticket priced maintenance associated with these vehicles. Yes, they're beautiful, but yes, they cost a lot. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, y'all got to tell them, because I heard what y'all had to say, and I said, Sometimes one of the best things you can do is just hear what other people are going through and say to yourself, is that what you are okay with? Or are you the type of person to not do no sort of research and just go off of your feelings and then find out what you find out the hard way? Y'all, we can use the internet as a resource. People are telling their stories. They are telling y'all. Now, she says luxury cars have luxury priced maintenance. Couldn't agree more. But here is some advice if you've already done it. Someone commented this: it's only expensive if you take it to the dealership. I take mine to an authorized LR shop for half the price. Another comment here says, do your research. You may be at the repair shop more than you like with the Range Rover too. This is the part I was talking about earlier. Some of these cars, if you just do a simple Google search, it'll tell you.
Having a luxury vehicle is nice until you have to do luxury vehicle maintenance. I just picked up my G-Wagon from the dealership.
A G-Wagon, okay.
And had my 1-year service done, which is like oil change, filters, you know, all of that kind of stuff. $2,100 just for that. And then on top of that, I do drive like a dumb and I almost loaded up in the back of somebody else's vehicle, and I had to lock it up and like kind of skin. So I needed like brakes and brake pads because I'm like a dumb.
Girl, why you keep calling yourself that? The wording some of y'all use and associate with yourself is quite interesting, to say the least, but I digress.
That was an additional $3,200. So now we're up to $5,400 for brakes, brake pads, and basically an oil change. I'm thinking that's probably a little on the high side. Am I right? What do brake pads and an oil change, what does that cost, like just the normal?
Ma'am, I hope you Googled it or something before, because that's how they get a lot of people, but that might be normal for a luxury vehicle. She said she had a G-Wagon, you know? And we also don't know, did she go to a dealer?
I just picked up my G-Wagon from the dealership.
Okay, she said she was at the dealership. The dealership already gonna tax you. Like, that is basic knowledge, whether you have a luxury vehicle or a regular vehicle, that I think many people need to know. If you don't want to get taxed for stuff like an oil change or things like that, you know, try to go somewhere else. The dealership is going to tax you for everything. They're going to tax you. Now, I do understand that there are certain things that you need to go to the dealership for. And some people just go to the dealership just because they don't want to go other places to get the services done. That is where you're going to spend a lot of money. The lack of research, the lack of knowledge that you may have might cost you more for the same service. Now she's saying the Honda Accord's looking real good right now. I don't blame her. But she got the G-Wagon already. Now, someone here said, don't buy an $100,000 car, then complain about the maintenance. Others saying the goal is to be rich, not to look rich. I don't know. I'm not saying this about her, but some people's goal is to look rich. They actually don't care about building wealth, being financially responsible, financial education, financial literacy. They actually could care less as long as other people think that they're rich. They don't care. Like, that's all they want. Y'all do know that, right? There are people, even people you know, that just want to give off that impression. That is their goal. That can get dangerous if you're one of those people, because how far are you willing to go? It doesn't just stop at luxury vehicles. It's like, okay, now you got to get a luxury house with a luxury pool, luxury rooms, comes with a luxury lawn that costs luxury prices to maintain. And then you need a luxury family, and everything you wear needs to be luxury. It needs to be things that people can look at and say, oh my gosh, it's luxury. They're so rich. Do you get what I mean? It never stops. It never ends. It can get dangerous. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. Okay. Oh no, this ain't about to go well. It says, I bought 2 luxury cars during the pandemic, and now I regret the heck out of it. Okay. What happened?
Okay, so let me put y'all on real quick. So back during the pandemic, whatever you want to call it, bought not only 1, but 2 high-end luxury cars. I got a BMW and a Range Rover.
Okay, now this should be interesting. 2 of the cars that we've been hearing repeatedly in this video, BMW and a Range Rover. Okay.
Looking back, I could really slap out of myself if I'm just being honest. Not because I couldn't afford it then or now, but because I'm no longer trying to keep up with chasing a look. You feel me? I really wasn't thinking long term when I bought these dumb investments. I'm gonna just be honest with you. It's really nothing cute about being stuck with 2 high-end car notes. I promise you that. Especially when it's a depreciating asset. But forget the situation. Here's the lesson. If you're gonna get a higher end car, lease it. Do not finance it for 6 to 7 years just to be stuck in a car note that you no longer really want. Then you can't sell it without taking a hit. Cause this is the thing, when I bought my cars, y'all know everything was overpriced during my pandemic. So not only am I in a hole with 2 vehicles, you get what I'm saying? It's just like they're not even worth it for what I'm paying on them.
I think this is what can happen if you don't understand that a car, I'll say most of the time, for us normal people buying certain vehicles, it is a depreciating asset, which is why we talked about that earlier in the video. Most people aren't buying a car with the intent of it going up in value, and certain vehicles historically aren't known for that, and perhaps she didn't understand that as much as she does now. Respectfully. What I also found very interesting is she said essentially she did it for the look, like the perception, what it gave off. And I feel bad that so many people do the same thing. They do.
They really don't hold their value. Like, they lost their value so much quick. It's crazy. I mean, unless you got money and you just like, you don't care and you just want to, you know what I'm saying, blow your money on a vehicle, do you by any means. But for me, I feel like if I would have leased my cars, leasing would have gave me a way better out. You get what I'm saying? Because I would still be whatever I want to be in and it would be brand new.
Now, here's what I'll say, because I do keep hearing this comment about leasing, because I think this is a great topic to educate people on, just so people can make an informed decision. Now, when it comes to leasing versus buying a luxury vehicle, I wouldn't necessarily say there's a right or wrong. I would say consider what your goal is at the end. For example, if you end up buying a vehicle or financing a vehicle, yes, over the time of you paying off your car note or your loan, your car probably is going to depreciate based off of the statistics that I gave you all earlier from Kelley Blue Book, because cars generally depreciate. However, at the end of all of that, you actually have a car. You can either keep the car or you could sell the car. But keep in mind that car probably has depreciated depending on how long you've had it, how much you drove it, how you kept it up, the maintenance, X, Y, and Z. Has it been in a car crash? There are a lot of factors that go into that. However, when you are leasing a vehicle, the car could be brand new. And it's the same situation. It is going to still depreciate over those years because that's just what happens with wear and tear of a vehicle and time. However, once your agreement is up, you can just give the car back. What I will say is this: if you are repeatedly just leasing new vehicles, just to lease new vehicles year after year, keep in mind, you will continue to have to lease because you don't actually own a vehicle. And I think that's the key part that is not being talked about in a lot of these vehicles. It's the constant having to lease. And why? Is it just to stay in a newer vehicle for the optics of, hey, I stay in a newer car, the latest and greatest? Or is your goal to actually have something that is yours that you can ride until the wheels fall off, not have to pay somebody, whether that be a bank or whoever you're leasing the vehicle to, in order to stay in a vehicle? These are all things that need to be considered. And I wouldn't say there is a right or wrong answer. I'm saying that there are different strokes for different folks, and one of those options may be better for you and your situation than the other. Personally, for me, not a fan of car notes, not a fan of switching a vehicle every 2 years. Couldn't care less if it was new. Do the wheels spin? Does it drive good? Does the AC work? What's the gas? What's the mileage? How much does it cost to fill up the tank? That's what I want to know. Everything else, don't care. Don't care. That's me though. Some people actually value the car being new. Leather seats, peanut butter seats, cookie seats, lizard seats. Just whatever. That is what they value. And because of that, and the fact that they might like to switch it up a lot, they're going to get a lease and speak to other people as if that's the norm, and that's their prerogative. But you all might not have the same goal. You might not want to have to do that, and that's okay too. So just consider yourself. Think about your situation.
I'm 30 now, so clearly my goals just look different for myself, if I'm just being honest with you all. I don't really care about people seeing me look wealthy. I want to be wealthy.
No, man, I hear what you're saying. I'm just trying to understand why she said she would lease instead then. And I'm not saying that if you're leasing, you can't build wealth, because you can. I'm just pointing out that constantly having to dish money out every month for a car note, or in this case, I'll call it a lease note, if you go that route, that's a never ending thing. And a big chunk of change for some people can be saved there. And you know, they always talk about vehicles being one of the biggest wealth killers because car notes are expensive, or lease notes in this case.
Real assets, real money in the bank, real investments, all that good. If you're watching this and you're thinking about getting a luxury car, just pause for a moment. I'm not here to kind of like push you away from what you want to do. I'm here to just simply give you a better understanding of where you should put your money or how to utilize your money when purchasing a brand new high-end luxury car, so you don't feel like how I feel. Always remember, fix your credit first and make sure your money is always working for you. If you need help fixing your credit, I got you. That's my lane. I've been doing that. Give me the word credit and let's get your profile all the way together.
No. She's a credit fixer. Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny. Yeah. Now, after hearing a few things, I have my thoughts. Probably gonna keep them to myself. But this person said here, the cost of not thinking long term will put you in some messed up situations. High car notes plus no equity equals depreciating assets. Cars are typically depreciating assets Okay. Both are weighing me down. If you are about to buy a luxury car, lease it. Now, respectfully, I have to disagree. If you are about to buy a luxury vehicle, I would say assess your budget. My head doesn't go to, if you're gonna buy this thing, lease it so you can get out of it in 2 years and then just pay them all this money. Maybe just go back to the drawing board and say, you know what? Maybe I don't need a luxury vehicle at this time in my life. But if you have not looked at your budget to say, hey, what is the maintenance, repairs, gas, emergency fund looking like? All of those things. If you haven't done that, leasing a vehicle is not going to solve any of those problems when they arise or if they arise. If you lease a vehicle, you still need to be able to afford that vehicle. And being that luxury vehicles are typically more expensive than regular vehicles, you're probably going to pay more. Can you afford that? And for what? Just for it to be luxury? I don't know what people have against a regular car when that's what they can afford at the time. But I will say this, there's nothing wrong with that. There's even nothing wrong with a beater, a nice humble car. There are like levels to stuff in life. And I feel like it might not be your time, but the answer doesn't have to be to lease it, especially if you can't afford it. Like oh my, I don't know what this is, because now it says DM me credit if you're serious about getting your profile together before you make a major move. Lord have mercy. Let me just, I am glad to hear this. Someone else said keep the Beamer, sell the Rover, and she says that her Rover is almost paid off and she'd rather keep that. Hey, I'm wishing her the best. This is interesting.
I have $60,000 worth of car debt, with about $30,000 of that being in negative equity. And let me tell you how the dealership scammed me, because I bought my car by myself back in 2022 and I got scammed, and I don't want y'all to get scammed.
Negative $30,000 worth of equity, and she bought the car like 4 years ago. That's interesting. 30,000?
So let's talk about it. I went in spring of 2022 to buy my Jeep. I wanted the Jeep Wrangler, which is the hybrid car, part gas, part electric. And anyways, during that time, they didn't have a lot of stock because of COVID. And so basically they were going to order my Jeep and it would come within 3 months. Well, the dealership guy told me that they could put me in a Jeep off the lot for 3 months with no loan payment, and then they would roll the loan over to the new Jeep when it came in. I was like, oh, that sounds great. So I signed it. I didn't have any payments. My Jeep came in the mail. My Jeep came, I went and I picked it up. And y'all, when he sat me down, he handed me a piece of paper that said that the car was like $100,000. And when I tell you, I about had a fit, because when I had originally went in, the finance guy told me that my monthly payment was going to be like $600. And then when I told the car salesman that when I was picking up the Jeep, he said that the finance guy lied and that's why he doesn't work there anymore. And now I'm stuck with $1,000 car payment.
So you sued. You sued, right? And you said, hold on, that ain't what I agreed on. Where's my paperwork? Ma'am, what? Do you own the dealership now? Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny it, because it's just asking. Now that ain't right. That's not right. What I also think is interesting is she was willing to pay the $600 as the monthly payment for what she thought she was going to get. She may be able to afford that. My whole point here is these monthly payments can get kind of high, y'all. They can. Just some things to consider.
And the reason why I have negative equity is because somehow, and I still don't know how he did it. I worked with a lemon law attorney and I still don't know how he did it. But basically, when he rolled the first loan into the second one, he somehow kept it higher. I don't understand how negative equity works. I honestly don't. So if you ask me questions about that, I probably can't. But basically, if I were to sell my Jeep today, I'd be lucky if I got like $35,000 on it, and I still owe $59,000. Yeah. So if you see this video, feel free to repost it, like it, comment, share, tell me I'm an idiot. I know I'm an idiot. I literally talked to like 3 different people, and they're like, everyone makes stupid decisions when they're younger, and most of the people that I've talked to, they've made stupid decisions when it's come to cars as well. And you know what? I have to live with it, but don't make the same mistake as me just because you want a nice car, because guess what? If I could go back, I would get a used Toyota or Honda and just stick with that.
Do y'all notice how Toyota and Honda keep getting honorable mentions? I'll just say it might not be a coincidence. It might not be a coincidence that Toyota and Honda keep getting, can't confirm nor deny. However, ma'am, I am so confused on how. So they put you in a car before your car became your car because they didn't have your car. So they put you in a car that was on the lot, and then they said, I'm gonna send you another car. It's on the way. And then so you got a temporary car, and then your car came, and then they slid you some paperwork and said, okay, your car is here, but here is your new amount that you have to pay, and it wasn't what y'all agreed upon. And then you had negative equity on that car that was new, but the car is now like 3, 4, 5 years old, which again, y'all, cars depreciate, and 45% definitely could happen. But then she says she don't know nothing about car depreciation. In a 5-year span, again, 50% can happen. But then she said this was during an interesting time, probably when it was hard to get a vehicle. And ma'am, I don't even know what to think about what you just said, because it didn't sound like she brought another car to buy that car. It sounds like she just bought a car, but something shiesty was going on. Nonetheless, ma'am, that's horrible. That's horrible. I'm sorry you went through that, because that makes no sense. Head scratching moment. Now, it's one thing to get a luxury vehicle, and it's another thing to get a luxury vehicle under these conditions. So I really am wishing her well in this case. Goodness gracious. I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm Mercedes waiting for my car. Tell me why owning my dream car has low-key been a nightmare. I haven't had my G-Wagon in like a month. Because tell me why I get into my car one day, right? Like normal, thinking everything's fine. And then all these Christmas lights start popping up on the dashboard, and I'm like, so I bring it in thinking that it's gonna be something simple because my car has always been fine. Tell me why they go, oh, a rodent, a rat, a bunny, something went in my car, in like the motor, and started chewing at the wires. Excuse me? And then I'm like, oh, okay, like how much is it gonna be, right? $4,000.
At that point, I know a lot of y'all probably ready to mess Ratatouille up, because $4,000 for some animals chewing on your wire. The disrespect. they don't even know what they did. They probably just want to stay warm or something. And they said, you know what? This looks like a good home in your luxury G-Wagon. My.
$4,000, actually almost $5,000. And I'm like, hold up. They tell me this on the phone, and I come in and I'm like, $4,000 is actually crazy. So I talk to them, negotiate something, and then they put it down to $2,000, like 2,000 something. And I was like, okay, that's more doable. I just paid that, and now I'm gonna see my car for the first time in a month.
What's crazy is they probably always could have afforded to charge her $2,000. The reason I want to bring that up is, look, a lot of people will see other people pull up in a luxury vehicle, and they're going to think to themselves, oh, you got money. You can afford this $5,000, when obviously they're okay with charging her $2,000 as well after some negotiation. Do you not think that they're still not coming out on top after that negotiation? Because I'm sure they were. I say that to point out that action in hopes that all of y'all, after seeing that, negotiate. Now, this is very interesting. Again, people are saying this is why you don't purchase Mercedes, only lease. And she said, lesson learned. But keep in mind, y'all, you don't have to just drive a Mercedes. It's not gonna be the end of the world if you don't drive a Mercedes or a luxury vehicle. Other vehicles are perfectly fine. Another comment here says insurance pays for this. Now, that's another thing to look into. Call your insurance company and see, hey, can they work with me? Am I covered for this sort of thing? You might be. There are people here in the comments saying it might even be under warranty. It might be worth checking these sort of things before you give a dealership or a maintenance shop all of this money. Now, she said here, when people say if you can't pay cash, you can't afford it, I should have listened. I don't know, man. Like, I get where you coming from, but I kind of feel like that was scammy. I feel like, what in the hustle and flow was going on?
If you were thinking about getting a Benz when you graduate nursing school, or when you, I don't care, even if you're not a nurse, don't get one. Let me be the example. Y'all, let me show y'all something on my car. Let me just show y'all something real quick. Y'all, look at this. This side, look at the rims.
Girl, you been hitting the curb? What we looking at?
Let me show y'all the other side too. Look at that.
Girl, somebody hit your car. You need to call the insurance, ain't it?
Every curb I hit, because I don't even know how to drive.
See, I knew it. I called it, y'all. Symone done hit a couple curbs in her life. Maybe can't confirm nor deny, but well, actually can't deny. Can't deny, but hey, you gotta live a little. Nonetheless, she says she don't know how to drive. Now, it's one thing if you got a car that you really don't care about the optics about if you don't know how to drive. Because one of my rims used to look like somebody chewed, like the rats and the rodents, Master Splinter and them was chewing on it. I don't know. But I've owned the same car for over 10 years. Replaced the rims so they don't look like that no more. But back about 10 years ago when I was hitting them curves, different story.
So let me tell y'all something about these Benz. Ever since I got this car, it's an extra $1,000 a month. Now my car payment, but car payment and car insurance, that's an extra $1,000. Do you know how much extra money I used to have before I had this car?
That's why I say you got to think about everything. And this is why I love these sort of videos. Y'all just make my points for me. I'm not happy that's happening, but it just goes to show you how many people this is happening to. And it brings awareness to the issue. A lot of people don't think that this is a big deal until it's a big deal. Until they're like, oh shoot, I had other stuff I have to worry about. And it's like, yeah, you did. It wasn't just the monthly payment. And now stuff can start to get expensive, starting to add up.
An extra $1,000 a month when you first, I'm telling y'all, I waited 2 years after I, graduated nursing school and started my job. I did wait 2 years to kind of see, but I missed the life of it having that extra money. Mercedes is so much freaking maintenance. This freaking stupid car, it's cute to pull up in, yeah, all that blah blah blah, but sometimes it's just a lot. And then maintenance, I gotta get all this fixed from me just hitting these curves and the rims.
Why? You don't have to, but that's what you want to do. See, but she said it's nice to pull up in. It ain't gonna be nice to pull up in if it looks like you've been riding on your rims, which I can understand where she's coming from. Them folks with a beater don't care. You ever seen somebody ride around in an old car that they've had for a long time? I'm not saying they don't care about their car and the maintenance and stuff like that, but it's just different. It's a different level of riding that car till the wheels fell off and getting the absolute most out of that car, so you ain't really tripping. You didn't have to do all of that, put all that money into the cosmetic maintenance of a car. You've been able to stack money because you haven't been paying for the car. That's rough. $1,000 extra a month and this sort of stuff on top of that, man.
Mind you, y'all, a couple months ago, my tire just kept going flat. So I'm like, why my tire going flat? Why my tire keep going flat or whatever? It just kept going freaking flat.
Girl, you might have had a slow leak. That's all that was. You need a little patch.
Y'all, come to find out, it wasn't even the freaking tire. It was the freaking rim. This car don't even come with a spare tire. Every time you call somebody, if your tire go flat right now, you gotta buy a whole new tire.
It didn't come with a spare? It didn't come with a spare. Isn't that like that should be like a safety issue, ain't it? I don't know.
But anyways, I'm going shop to shop. People charging me diagnosis fees. Oh, you want to be a woman and have a car? Baby, they gonna charge you just because they charging me money. I literally was crying one time. This man charged me. He filled up my tire. It just kept going flat every few days. And I went to this man and he's still gonna tell me the same thing. I finally went to this man's shop one day. He said, baby, it's not your tire, it's your rim. I go to the Mercedes-Benz. They talking about, oh, do you have $1,000 to spend a day, $2,000 to spend a day? The man was really being nice. I was like, no. He was like, well, you can take it to like a third-party little welder, get your rim welded. Y'all, why was that like $300? It was over in the ghetto, it was in Decatur, and
not Decatur catching a stray. Ooh.
I had to get the rim welded, and the man gonna have the nerve. First of all, I remember it was $300 because he only took cash.
Hey, don't be putting that man out there. I see what he got going on. Can't confirm nor deny.
It was over in the middle of the hood. I had to walk to the gas station. People blowing the horn at me. It's a group of men in the back of the gas station. Everybody looking, and they like, hey, and I'm like, hey, because I did not want to get robbed. So I was like, hey, how y'all doing? I had to get the money out the bank, and then the man gonna have the nerve when I tried to pay him, talking about, oh, and you don't gotta use my number just for getting your car fixed either. I'm like, what you mean? I just paid you $300 to fix my tire? Baby, when you talk to me, you say, yes, sir. It's something wrong with these dudes here. But yeah, especially if you don't got no man, or you don't have like a father figure, or if your tire go flat right now, and you can't call nobody, don't get no Benz. Don't get it. You don't got no money for maintenance, don't get no Benz. Just wait.
The first comment here says, I'ma hold your hand when I say this. It's you, not the Mercedes. Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny. Now, there has to be a level of accountability. It's like, again, repairs are a part of the cost of owning a luxury vehicle. That needs to be factored in. So if you like to hit the curb, look, I'm not judging. I told y'all what I used to do. But if you like to hit that curb and then do that little giggle, it's okay. If you one of them, keep in mind, you might need you some new rims. Your stuff gonna be scratched up, gonna be dent up. Hey, it's okay to say, I might have a problem. I might be the problem in this case, because nobody's perfect. You know, you fix that rim, you'll be a little bit more careful about hitting them curbs on accident, and life goes on. But I'm not sure if that's Mercedes' fault or Range Rover or any of these luxury brand vehicles' fault if you like to hit the curb on accident. Allegedly, can't confirm nor deny. Now, someone said, why would you buy a nice car and can't drive? For real. That's why I'm still driving my Nissan, because I don't be seeing the curbs. Look, I didn't know I needed glasses. Them folks told me, do you know you can't see? I said, actually, no. I've been looking out my one eye for a long time, and nobody thought everybody couldn't see. I thought it was all a little fuzzy. I'm being dead serious, by the way. Dead serious. I think I was like 28, and an optometrist gave me glasses. I said, who need these? I can see. That's when I realized I could not see. When I said everybody can see like this, it's clear in real life. That'll change some things for you. Back to the topic. Now, she said the reason she did it is because, girl, it was my dream car. You live and you learn. Now, it's her life. It's her money. They said, girl, you was tearing that Benz up. Please learn to drive. It's costing you. And that's the real gist I want to show here is it will cost you. If you're okay with that cost, it's okay. But if you're not, I would agree with her. Maybe don't get a luxury vehicle when you know that you like to hit the curb on accident, or you don't want to pay for those repairs and you want to pull up looking nice. Because I can understand that you have something you worked hard for, but it don't look like what you wanted to look like pulling up because it's getting expensive. But I need to know what y'all think about all this down below. Do y'all think that luxury vehicles are a scam? And if not, tell me, what is your ideal luxury vehicle? Or if you are team no luxury vehicle, what brand of vehicle do you like? And I think I know what I'm gonna see in the comments, but I know one thing. We have to start making better decisions today in order to have a better future.